game goes on. Zeus finds an Infernal Chain, cut the video, and Gumayusi taking a bit of damage here. Good fire kick, and actually Teddy going forward. A couple more autos and he's dead, and that's first blood for the bottom lane of DRX. That's not even silver lining. Satab is, that's not the lane, that's the river. Faker is going to get shuffled, actually. Delivered to Sponge. Flash Ash to come through, but Sponge is immediately flashing after him. Faker could die as well. It's a decent shockwave, but it ain't going to save him. And Satab moves DRX to 2-0.
What a start, honestly. And they're able to find the two
to this composition. And if T1 don't start that snowball rolling, things could become difficult. Rascal coming forward as Sponge is here again. Remember, no flash on Zeus. No Umbral Dash either, as there is the Magnet Storm. They didn't even want to invest it, as Leap Strike comes in and the flash has to be used, but Rascal is able to lock down the kill. That was almost a flub, but they nailed it in the end.
Yeah, so well in time to follow up here.
Yep, Ona is going to go a bit aggressive onto Pleta, but Teddy might have been his target. Now Kerry is going to come on over. Teddy is in so much trouble. There he goes. Faker moving in as well. Flash out from Pleta. Faker moving real quickly thanks to the Aqua Prison. More like freedom here, as T1 will be able to take down Teddy, the prime target towards the bottom side around that turret. And the more they're able to open up this map, the more they will be able to get that snowball moving, as we see how this all occurred.
Yeah, Teddy just kind of completely overstepping there. I mean, the important thing is they don't have the level 6 from the Milio to get them out of the Aqua Prison. Now they're super low, and Ona actually kind of baits this here, so goes in initially, and then he kind of backs away like, oh, I don't want this, waiting for the backup from Carrier. And Carrier gives him the boost, gives him the extra damage just to make sure he gets the quick kill. And then a nice flash from Pleta at the end, reads that one from Ona. Recall, he's not going to be back in time, so likely just see DRX give this one up.
Yep. And so that is going to be 2 dragons. We'll see what soul it's going to be. If it's T1, it's often Clouds. They do have my back there. And Faker is on defense. That's a flash Magnet Storm. Teddy going to flash out of the way of the Tidal Wave. Faker should go down, but they do secure the dragon. And the soul will be Hextech, actually.
Dragon fight. They're going to need to put a stop to the dragon stacking.
And Sponge is looking to put a stop to Zeus here, who doesn't have flash. Remember, Magnet Storm comes down, Emperor's Divide, and he's just going to be swept under the rug. Sponge will take a few too many turret shots, but he isn't going to die for it. And now Rascal is chasing after Faker. Shockwave comes in, but doesn't exactly do what he wants. Still slowed down by the dissonance. Rascal will be deterred as Faker gets into that pixel brush. And now, Moonlight Vigil avoided. That was really cute. Pleta still diving in, and that is not really the direction he wants to go. Satab wanting to get over, isn't going to be able to. Good dive here by T1, keeping up that aggression as much as possible. But Rascal's coming in. This is fight after fight after fight here in this mid-game. Rascal not quite finding its farm. Still probably pretty happy about how the situation is going, as Owner is spotted on vision. DRX immediately back away towards him. Yeah, Rascal is actually going to, like ships in the night. They do go past each other, but there is a flash counter-strike, and Ona, he's going the wrong direction. Gravitum is going to be picked up by Teddy, and that means that there is no way out. Somehow the kill goes to Pleta, but that is fine. There is no jungler. This might be a dragon opportunity for DRX.
Yeah, big miss.
Trying to find an opportunity for that Emperor's Divide. Teddy gets vision down, spots T1, and still standing his ground here. I don't know about it.
Damage.
Yeah, does have Pleta there in his back pocket. Gumayusi able to offer a lot back. So, without Smite, they do have Teleport, and T1 is still wanting to fight for this one. That's a flash over the Tidal Wave. Shockwave comes through, though, and that's a great double bubble. Zeus able to take down Satab here as the dragon is still amongst it. It's a double kill for Zeus, who is just a wrecking ball. And they were a man down, but T1 is still making it work. Make that a triple. Oh no, it's a catastrophe for DRX.
It's all fallen apart at DRX, and now T1 should be able to secure this dragon. I think DRX need to rush straight. They should be able to secure the Baron, and DRX need to rush to the dragon. If they lose Baron and dragon here, it's going to really be rough.
Yeah, and you can see Faker teleported to the bottom lane. He knows that this Baron is well and truly T1's. Now going to be able to take it down. Of course, it is on spawn, so it takes a while to kill it. Faker, not quite aware of what's going on here. Will be able to put the ball in if he wants to, but gets the bad news. The Baron is going to be going down. Has to use his flash to avoid that Emperor's Divide. The Sand Soldier's starting to get aggressive. There is still a turret here, and Faker has dissonance, so he should be able to get himself out. But
yeah, which obviously isn't great. They haven't taken any tier 2 structures yet. they didn't get that third dragon, so DRX hold on okay.
Ooh, tidal wave coming in here as Sponge does get knocked up. Great shockwave onto Satab, who's trying to get himself out of there. Ona also using the ult relatively defensively. They take down the turret, but they're unable to kill any of the members of T1. Oh man, Rascal in the mid lane should be able to get something back here as he secures. Market in Shurima at the moment is struggling a little bit. You had to look at the Shuriman times.
I think part of the problem is that they're structuring these buildings on sand, you know?
Yeah, I've heard of that issue before. Is okay, cease and desist onto Teddy into that backline. He flashes, he does manage to get the ult, but the shockwave is too strong as Faker 8 kills to go now. Zeus able to take down a double in the backline as well. Sponge going to be taken away also, and DRX, they're left with only Rascal.
And they just survive longer than maybe you initially think.
Oh, the teleport from Faker as well for the shockwave position as Carrier has to flash. Oh, bubble avoided there by Sponge, but now he's in trouble, taking a lot of damage from Gumayusi. That is a second one here for Faker. As Rascal is getting engaged on here. Zeus, every auto really hurting. Cyrilda's in his back pocket as well. And that is the... He's buying time. Teleporting. Bubble. Dead. It was a cute play. It was a cute plan. Gumayusi able to dash himself out of the way. Good shockwave here from Faker as Sponge crashes down on top of him, but Faker's got the arm guard and he'll keep himself alive. The fire kick, not really something you're too scared about, and now Zeus is underneath turrets, not too worried about much at all. Wants to find a third Q, there it is, and Pletter is just wondering where the heck damage is. He wants to go back to being an AD carry, I think, but Umbral dash over the base gate, and Zeus is out of there. And now T1 are just going to rain hell down on the rest of DRX. Pletter is...
Leave him alone!
Oh, it's so cruel, isn't it? That's another kill. There's the ace, and T1 will now just destroy these Nexus turrets and take us to a game number 2. But one thing I do want to take away from this is the fact that DRX looked relatively competitive in the early stages until they absolutely didn't.
It was going so well until it stopped.
What I wanted was the sneaky swap, because Zeus' on is so good, and he could just play tank v tank there towards the top side of the map and still do a good job. And then play Senna Aatrox in the bottom lane.
I'm not sold.
Not sold? Very, 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 very small amount. So maybe that was just enough to move him out of the way. His grand entrance once again. No flash here from Carrier. It could be another first blood for DRX as he's burning. The flash comes through and Carrier walks it off. Oh, it's so close. Straight back nicely, but you can see Satab just teleporting back now, doesn't have a bunch of his health. And Faker in a similar boat, to be perfectly honest. But Satab with just the tier stacking up in comparison to the 2 books. Faker is well read. He is known for his reading of books, but he is going to be able to do so in lane as well. And oh man, catches him right on the end as Satab going aggressive. Faker, oh, just flashes, picks that one up. I believe that was the empowered auto there as well. And so Faker, first blood, solo kill. But the problem is that he just may not get to the Eclipse, Malignance, Muramana situation as Gumayusi does have to use the flash. There's a Feather Storm as Carrier trying to get himself out of the way, calls the Ram, and they still manage to get the knock up. Ona finds the stun, max range. Oh. Dawning Shadow flies forward as well, and Ona, he helps them pick up their second kill of the game and continues to go aggressive here, moving into the enemy jungle.
Honestly,
enough to get them any sort of meaningful lead. And we mentioned, you know, the fact that Corki is sort of just a scaling composition by himself as the package was picked up.
Oh, no.
And then he's spotted on a ward.
But, like, what is the point of taking package now?
Well, so that you can get out of this. Nailed it. Sponge going to look for a bit of a shattering strike here. T1 are going to be able to push them away. So, okay, Feather Storm going to be used. Pop Blossom comes down, and that is a dead rel. Nicely picked up there, and Faker grabs yet another one. Good grand entrance, though, as there is the Heartbreaker flash to get Ona out of there. He should be all right, as Carrier takes another turret shot as well. Oh, Faker taking a lot of damage underneath this turret.
This is not going well.
I'm going to put it in the cons column, absolutely, when it comes to DRX early games.
Okay, now they're going top.
Yeah, Ona is going to be able to get Satab here. Does use the flash, but there's the stun. And is he able to do anything? The answer is no, and he also gives the assist over towards Gumayusi as well.
Yep, well, really nicely played. It's Satab.
And now Zeus wanting to find Satab, and he'll find him. And that is a real scary one. Flash does come out, but I don't know whether Satab can escape this. Where's the Valkyrie?
7 seconds.
Yeah, he's really dead.
I don't think you get that long.
And look at the scratch of the head on the player cams there as well. You can see Satab not really happy about how this game is going whatsoever. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't Zeka's fault. Maybe it was. Maybe it's just T1 are too good at dealing with Corky comps. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, I think the chances of Sponge stealing this pretty
limited.
low.
Yeah, limited.
Those probes, though, maybe no, he doesn't even get those.
All right, well, the Ram comes down. They do manage to catch Pleta here as Ono looks for a little bit more CC. Heartbreaker comes down. Rascal going to be the next target here as Teddy takes the base gate. Yep, Faker is after him. There's a Pop Blossom. Teddy able to avoid that. And that will be able to cap Featherstorm, but would have needed that as well. Yeah, could have pressed that button. Pleta still running for his life. Sponge doing the same thing. And yeah, this is a difficult game here for DRX at this point in time. Pleta is going to die, and there's going to be a kill going over to Ona. Now Rascal fighting alongside Satab against Zeus. 2 versus 1. I'm almost favoring the 1 here, but it is going to be Rascal picking it up in the end. As Carrier turns up just a little bit late, and Faker is a little bit distracted by winning the game by the looks of things. Still needs a few more kills like Faker.
He's been hunting for them. You've seen him trying.
Yeah. But you don't win the game, then you definitely can't get the kills.
Yeah, there are more important things at stake right now.
No, precisely. As Rascal going to turn it here. Carrier going to flash on over, and yeah, Gumushi turns up. He's going to protect his better half. And now you can see Carrier just going to go back home. Satab may just die here, as yeah, that's a bunch of... So Rascal is going to find Carrier, and Carrier is going to ignore him. I'm pretty sure Rascal pressed a button, but I'm not entirely sure. Pop Blossom going to be channeled here as Sponge is going to dive on into it, looks for a last-ditch attempt as Faker goes golden. He picks up another kill here. That's his 3rd for the game, but he will end up going down. Good package there from Satab, but now he's on the wrong side of this one. Knockup is going to come through onto Zeus. Blade Caller is good, and Zeus will be taken down. But now the cavalry will turn up. There's another Corky. That's a decent way of dealing with it, I guess. But he's going to take a lot of damage. Teddy on the fountain is kind of looking like his old self as that fountain laser. But still, these Nexus turrets are going to be turned to Carrier. Looks for the dive forward. Good Featherstorm there from Teddy to avoid him. But now the Nexus will be taken down, and T1 going to look for that swift 2-0. They will find it. Carrier will die. T1 will get the job done in the end. Decent little dash there from Owner, and he keeps himself alive at the last second. So
trades, couple too many, and suddenly you just don't have the health anymore to contest. But also, I mean, this is one of the big changes that Rakan got a while ago that just makes him so obnoxious. It's like you hit 1 Q, and you're good to go.
That's a flash from Sylvie. Execute, he's flashing away, but they really want this seafood, and there is the crash down. First blood goes to Jiwoo. They invested a bunch of summoners, but they got their prize.
Yeah.
Same thing. So far, so good in that regard. Studios go for a bit of a teleport back. Has a sword and a red thing. Oh dear. Execute may... Oh dear. Is this... Did we... Yeah, okay. That's 2 quick ones here for Jiwoo. And we've seen 2 sides of Execute, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen the one that pops off, makes plays and everything, but a little bit
that was tense.
Afraid of the zoom in.
That's lane losing the mental damage that can do.
100%. That's a flash. Dundun immediately going to flash as well as Clear with his ulti activated. Dundun going to do the same here. I don't know whether he wants this. As there it is. Clear locks it down. Fiesta also unable to avoid the clockwork wind-up finish of him. Both solo laners from FearX just get them
off the Orianna, but close and closer just... This feels like a bit of an overstep with how deep you're putting the ward, considering you don't have that side rush clear. And you can just see the collapse, the timing really nice from Peter and Sylvie coming together to punish.
Yeah.
Dragons are pretty solid, and it looks like Nongshim really have a ton of control. You can see on the minimap how many wards there are on this bot side river.
Dundun might be in trouble. Willa going to start tanking the turret, but he can actually do so. Heals up very nicely, and yeah, Dundun, he has flash, he uses it, but he is still dead, and this time Willa is going to be able to make it out, so no casualties underneath that turret. Willa is now just moving towards the rest of these bubs. That might be where we see the next fighters. That's a flash forward from Clear, and Dundun is just dead.
This is the
Clear that we were waiting to see. This is the guy that was carrying DRX in challenge.
Jester will find Willa, a bit poked down.
Yep, Sylvie comes on over to clear out the control ward there as well as the junglers face off. And yeah, of course, Will is going in. That's a Shockwave, that's a Magnetstorm, and now Emperor's Divide manages to catch closer. Sylvie dives on top of him and they take down the Orianna. Will is trying to get in there though, and he is going to be able to do so. And now Fiesta, he doesn't have that ult, and Willer, I think, could have just kept auto-attacking, but instead, Fiesta is going to walk away, and they will just leave 1-for-1. So, do you think Fiesta will survive?
Well, I think you get the tower, I think you put up your own tower, and then I think you hope for the best.
Well, Emperor's Divide going to be used here as Fiesta moves ever closer to the enemy base. That flash was a flash of all time, and he's going to be taken down. Dundun now in trouble. Infernal Chains do work out, but the Tidal Wave is going to come in. Execute just straight up missing the bubble. It doesn't matter, though, as another kill happens towards the mid lane. Peter is just dead. Not sure how that one happened, but nice work, Hannah. And now Will is going to move towards the Drake, and I feel like this was just catastrophic.
Flash as well.
I haven't seen a Jax this fed in such a long time, dude. It's crazy. And here he comes. The flash from Fiesta to try and avoid the Counter-Strike stun, but he's flashing towards an inhibitor turret. The acceptance of his fate might have been a necessity in order to hold on to that cooldown.
Yeah, this is a very fed Jax. And here, Peter just...
gets wind becomes lightning.
What? Why are you going that way?
Wants to get to the rest of his team. Oh, and then... Oh dear.
And the flash. Lucian's a range champion. He doesn't need it. He can still auto you from that distance.
Kill the Nexus?
And you do a ton of damage, yeah.
Alright.
And then fifth item.
Sojin or something? As Jiwoo going aggressive. Tidal Wave going to be following him. Gets the knock up as Magnetstorm will answer here. And everyone piles on top of Hannah, but he flashes. Emperor's Divide goes wide. And now Clear is looking for this Counter-Strike, but the team calls him off. And he is going to say, all right, you will live this time around. Willer now looking for his opportunity. Closer comes in. There's the Shockwave. And Sylvie's in trouble. He's trying to crash his way out of it. They get on top of Hannah, but have they dealt with the problem? No. Clear has not taken damage yet, and look at them. They are getting pulverized. Dindon takes one, but maybe that was a mistake. They've reset the gold for Clear to pick up as he puts him in the ground as well. 7, 1, and 2 on this Jax. Oh dear.
There's no other way to spin how that fight played.
Just wanting to make sure he's got a bit of magic resist, a bit of armor. Feeling fantastic. If he goes back with like 200 gold, he'll be able to finish a Frozen Heart because it's so cheap. And Jiwoo's, he's going to Feather Storm and then he's dead.
God,
the W is dumb damage here with just how fed he is. And Sylvie is also going to die. That's Hannah picking up that kill. Fox, if you'd like to, you can go grab yourselves a Baron. You can also walk up the mid lane and possibly just win. There is just no end to the amount of control that they have. And I would probably just grab that POG form and just put your pick in the top lane now.
It's such an easy decision.
This is where you can tell if some of the voters didn't watch the game. Hey, there we go.
So,
in a turret?
I don't think he gets this in time.
He might get it if he full sacrifices, and he will. The turnaround was actually kind of cute. Tidal Wave going to come in. He avoids it. We can see the minimap, so we can see the fact that Dundun is dead, even if he doesn't think he is just yet. He is just yet dead.
Yeah, so I said I didn't think he'd get that. You can't really go that wrong with builds.
Aiming should play Jax. Crash down going to be used here by Sylvie to get himself out of here. And here comes Clear. And we're going to try this team fight once again. As look at them. He was in amongst 4 people. Look, oh my goodness, he went down to half health. That's crazy, but he's got his Zhonya's. And Nongshim, they did manage to get a kill here. And now Clear's going to have to get out.
You have to back away?
Yeah, he does so. Oh. And Shockwave going to be used on a single target. And Fiesta able to get himself away from this one as well. But there's no cooldowns left remaining.
In terms of dealing with the Jax, 5 is like...
That's
dear. Not 5, that's 3.
Yeah, Leap Strike going to be used. Shattering Strike connects here. And can they actually kill him is the question. In comes Fiesta, throws him back forward, but he has the Counter-Strike back up and available once again. Hannah trying to get these autos, but there's the kill onto the Jax. They take down the Azir in response, but killing the Jax, I thought was going to be impossible for the entirety of this game, and we'll be able to do a fair bit of damage. And
yeah,
all that employed onto Fiesta, who's going to get Shockwave. Oh no, Jiwoo! He stepped in just the edge and is taken down. Oh, you can see, even though it's the champion doing the walking, I saw the guilt in the stride of the Shuriman Emperor as he was making his way out. Closer saw him as the target, and it's Jiwoo that pays the price.
I feel like those situations where you're right on the edge are the worst, because if Jiwoo was firmly in the shockwave radius, he probably would have ulted.
As well as Clear, just looking for that moment, looking for that opportunity, the poke damage flying forward. Every time Closer throws this orb around, it is doing massive damage. As the first Nexus turret does go down, Clear is going to teleport back in. They find the knock-up, but Willow's just going to split the fight. Now Clear dives in. He's got his Zhonya's already prepared. A shockwave onto two. Both bottom laners taking so much from that one. Dundun trying to be the valiant hero here for Nongshim, and they are standing their ground. They are surviving at least, but their Nexus is getting torn apart, and in goes Clear again. I just don't think this is going to be enough. There's the shuffle. They do manage to pick up Henna, but look at this. Some free time with a Nexus, and down it goes. Fearex will take game one.
Yeah, and I feel like just the top gap, a little bit of a chunk, being a summoner. It's not the most impactful, but definitely a positive. Just Peter getting a good angle there with the Q from the Tom Kench. Oh,
whoa, flashes everywhere as Colmy's getting welcomed to the Rift in the worst way possible. He is really dead, and that is not the way that you wanted to see it go down. Execute is the one that picks up the kill, so that is suboptimal. But sharing around a bunch of that.
Off like, nah, I've seen this before. I am not interested.
This is where the pause comes in. He's like, oh, I'll deal with it until level 3, and then we out. Speaking of out, that's not Sylvie. He's in this bottom lane, and Execute and Henna are in trouble. There's a teleport to the bottom lane as Closer's like, I want this one, and already Sylvie's dead. But at least they didn't give a kill to the Aurelia. Now Colmy, remember, doesn't have flash, and Will is just going to flash on top of him, and he's dead.
Wow.
Huh.
Well, at least the Aurelia doesn't have a kill.
True.
Teams, and you go, right, well, this is the left side, this is the right side. We get the one bonus one in playoffs, but it's a realistic outcome. Oh,
Colmy again in a little bit of trouble here as Closer's diving in. Grand Entrance is going to miss, and there is the Abyssal dive. Sylvie coming on over, finds some decent damage, and Execute should be taken down here. Sylvie grabs that kill, and Closer is able to limp away. Nice play here from Nongshim. Good reactive work down now. So that's certainly good, but now he's going to get stunned, and this could just be it. There's the ulti from Closer. Sylvie, he comes forward. That's a cute little flash, as now Colmy's walking the wrong direction, and the W comes through. Harpoon lands onto Sylvie as well. But I think Closer might just be happy with this. Sylvie able to dash his way out, but this Aurelia is starting to become an issue.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. He looks rather good in this champion. He is get a solo kill, and you can see that coming out here. Very nice that we're getting the point of view. Yeah, lands the initial stun, goes for the ult, and then sees that the Viego is coming, flashes the stun again, and then gets the W and the auto to finish off.
Oh, that's very clean. The fact that he sees him charge, God.
Oh man, there's an Ori on it. You know, Colmy just had to recall and TP back in. He just got back to lane.
Well, they're going to look for another stun. They don't find it there as Sylvie dives in. Good knock-up on the Tom Kench as now Willa, he finds an equalizer, and Peter, he is just burning down. Shockwave is used. It just doesn't really do anything. And now Closer's looking for even more. The W is channeled. They do turn on him, and he should be taken down as Jiwoo turns up to save the day. Nice play there, and giving the kill to Jiwoo is massive because, as you can see, he's already have
to do what you want in this lane.
Yeah,
if and you auto me, I will kill you.
And all right, Execute looks for the Grand Entrance, and he'll find it here. Jiwoo is by himself, and Execute tanks the turret, and one more hit, and Henna locks it down. Beautifully played. The coordination between these two players who have barely ever played together is starting to look better and better.
Yep.
Willow is spotted, and now Closer could be in a bit of trouble. Shockwave does come down, but he was channeling the W. We'll see whether that keeps him alive, as there's the Equalizer Vanguard's Edge combination. Peter going down very, very low, and this time he will die. Sylvie tries to get the Heartbreaker for the Execute onto Closer. It doesn't work out. Wouldn't have done enough damage anyway, and Jiwoo is running up, throwing zaps left and right. The trigger, though, is now Dundun trying to get in position for a Gnar, but that Gnar bar is dwindling, and Fearex know that they can just fight.
Execute still has ult on this flank. Like, you can see Colmy trying to zone him away, but if Execute gets in here, it could be massive.
Yeah, Colmy does find a dissonance. Doesn't really do too much here to Execute, though, as the Rift Herald is going to be secured, and now Execute looks for it. Goes for that engage. Closer Wanting to find the opportunity, doesn't get there though. Vanguard's Edge just hits the wind, and now Clear is going to pay for their sins. Does try to get out, but it's not going to work. It's Sylvie that locks up the kill on the Cassante, and now Willa is running. Execute, can you actually stop this? Oh, that's a decent little attempt, but he may still die. Never mind, blast cones exist. Shout out to Valdez there, who probably feels fantastic about that one being used to break up the team fight. Don't go for the Herald, and they look for a Colme's dead. He's really big time dead. Big time dead. Not sure about that one, Atlas. Let's think about our words a little bit more in the future. But I'll have some opportunities there.
Accurately?
Yeah.
He was big time dead.
Yeah, he was really dead. And Henna really flashed. Super Mega Death Rocket comes on forward as well, and that is going to be Abyssal Dive, picking up the kill there by Peter. So Nongshim answering back, nice, big number. But if they can actually deal with her, and that's, well, Colme is not really dealing with too much here, as Clear is just doing Cassante things. Finds Q, and back to the mini wave.
Well, you remember I was talking about the 1-3-1 being an issue.
You didn't specify. Jiwoo is trying to take down this turret. Execute going to block a Super Mega Death Rocket by accident. And Nongshim
on purpose.
Yeah, they grab themselves this outer turret in the mid lane. There's a flash forward from Executor. Sylvie will get charmed, but there's the eat from Peter. Teleport to come in, and now Nongshim, a re-engage possibility as well. As Executes the target, they will take him down. Beautifully played. Now Dundun on the flank angle. Not a lot of Narbar, but he's building it. And Henna just destroyed. All right, Nongshim. They just stand their ground and say, bring it. And Fox says, well, we'll try, but we won't be able to.
Dundun just styled on Henna. Henna had flash on ult and just didn't expect to be taken down there. And now 5 members. Closer stealing away the Gromp there. And the Gnar has been sent to answer.
That was pretty funny. Sylvie's going to have to use the Heartbreaker. Quickness going to come down. There's the Equalizer. Sylvie should just be dead here. That's one Baron taken down. Jiwoo could be in trouble here as Henna. He's not exactly as durable as he wants to be. Executing a similar boat as the Zap connects onto Willa, but now Closer has made his way in. Clear as well. This kiting from Jiwoo is working out nicely. Super Mega Death Rocket is optimistic. And Fox may have just bought them some valuable... Indeed. Is very, very close to the Frozen Heart. As I hold my thought, there's a good engage onto Peter. Equalizer as well, as Jiwoo has to get out of the way of that one. There's the Feather Storm as Henna doesn't get hit by that Super Mega Death Rocket, and now it's Clear and Execute trying to be that front line. Clear also doing some work here, but Closes out of the fight. But no! They expose Jiwoo! And it's Clear that does come in. Still very low health bars, and Dundun, is he going to be the savior of this team? That's the question. Willa locks down 1 kill under Peter, but Dundun, he's finding it, he's doing it, and the wallop comes down. It's a triple for this Gnar, and he might be the savior for Nongshim.
What a redemption arc for Dundun after, honestly, a very poor Game 1. Game 2, he is the driving force. FearX
Closer puts that teleport on cooldown. Doesn't really find too much joy for it.
Yeah, the concept was fine, but very hard to find these engages when there's a Calm Kench there offering that safety net, and also they just saw it come and disengage the left side of the mid lane. So Closer still looking for a window. There's minions there now to dash to.
Yeah. And Execute, oh dear, he just blows up. Not going to find the opportunity to get in there. Looks a little bit silly as he gets stunned immediately. Equalizer not also doing what it wants to do. And Closer keeping his health bar high, but Clear not so lucky. Doesn't find the stun. And FearX just lose 2 members for free.
Nongshim just too many tools to disengage, and the Orianna, as I said, doing so much damage now.
Freely throwing rockets at FearX, and there is nothing they can do about it. The range advantage just a little bit too high, especially given the state of the game. And now Henna gonna get bounced on here by Dundun. The easiest Feather Storm of his life. And Execute going to pay for his sins here as he's trying to get himself out. Equalizer going to be used, and the Super Mega Death Rocket still not landing. That is fine. Clear still finding these Qs, but it just doesn't matter. They're just standing their ground. Shockwave does come in. All Out now down as well here as Clear is trying to stay alive. The Devour going to be used onto Jiwoo as Fox closing in. They hadn't lost anyone for so long, but now these health bars are starting to melt. And now they will bring us to a game number 3. Nongshim! They're back in it. They're back on the board. And the losing streak has... saw that one coming from a mile away.
And honestly, I love it. It's going to be difficult to execute. We've obviously seen like Zeus play it so well. Dundun isn't Zeus, but I think the big thing as well is that we typically
the Grey Health to eat as well because they know that Henna's there. He's flashing for it as now Will is going to come in. The flash comes through. There's a twisted advance. They still have the heal. Oh my goodness, the bait was extraordinary. The sapling not going to quite be enough. Shift the sands, get himself out of the way. Something happened in the top lane and now it's looking a bit even, but in CS, not so much. This series is crazy, man. All right, there's a shockwave. And Closer, he's down to one auto attack, and finally we have a first blood. There we go. Sylvie locks it up, and it looked obvious. And I think if you just turned on the stream, you're like, Atlas, why didn't you know he was going to die? It's Dundun! He's going aggressive towards his top lane, lands another knock-up. The Infernal Chains connect, and he rebinds the soul to go back 1-6 button. Use it. That's what I say. Get your skills on cooldown.
Yep. And then you can use it again sooner.
Yeah. It's about the amount of times you use it per game, not about the effectiveness.
That's called value.
Yeah, there's a quickness, and there's a knock-up, and that's a really dead Azir. Whew, that's the second one, and now Sylvie's already over here. Execute, able to get out, uses the Abyssal Dive, and Dundun.
Bigger difference, and looks like they're going to try and find Clear here. If they kill him, they could just take a ton of plates for Dundun, and then the game might be done.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's great. Call Me also moving up here. Clear knows what's going on. Dundun going to ult right past the Azir, but there's a shockwave available, and Heartbreaker going to come through. Still, Clear able to get one back, so not exactly the cleanest, as Closer shows up just a little bit late here.
You know,
heck yeah. Henna is going to press its Hail of Arrows, and that is going to get him out of there, as now Dundun getting ulted. Willa comes on in here and has the sapling. Nice little ulti, and he might even be able to get the kill. Oh my god, Dundun's a monster! Can Willa get out with his life? That's the question. They pressed every button, and it wasn't enough.
Dundun just lacked.
See whether that is going to be the case this time around as well. Let's check this out once again. Dundun, the man with the mechanics.
Yeah.
Where's the sweet spot? Where is it? Oh, it doesn't exist. Clear can't find it.
I think he legit just hit every single Q.
Yeah, whilst avoiding every single Q.
Yeah, I mean, really well played. Really well.
Be able to avoid the stun there as Peter taking so much damage. Call Me comes on over. There's the shockwave. Devour has come through, but can they actually survive is the question. Nature's Grasp comes down. Teleport coming in. The cavalry has been called. The Hail of Arrows not really going to find too much, and now Dundun, oh, he was going to press it. And he does! He manages to find Closer here and isn't actually pushed entirely out of the way. Still has to flash because the rest of the team's coming over, and now, oh my god, the turn. He may have gone a little bit too far. Oh, who has? Closer is still alive with sub 100 health, and they'll transition into a Dragon. Fear X! Yeah, they're named correctly. There is no fear here.
Yeah, huge shutdown. Closer completely going ahead with the confidence to make the play happen. He wanted
exchanges. Another Chains of Corruption going to go wide this time around as Jiwoo has to Feather Storm. And, oh, they still want more. Peter's going to be there.
Yeah, looking pretty on fun for the Xayah. If only they could have not picked Xayah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a battle of the I wish they didn't pick these champions. As Call Me coming on over. He's an example of a good thing to pick. Wow. Henna is just going to destroy Peter, though. And now the Abyssal Dive going to come in. Call Me just going to walk this one off as best he can. But some low health bar. I don't know. It's crazy. Anyway, Shelly coming out. Let's see whether she can finish off this outer turret in the mid lane. Should be able to do so. Jiwoo taking...
that's... Where are you going,
The good old-fashioned redirect. Sylvie parks it into the wall.
Right, well that's definitely a fail.
That's a lucid. We call that a lucid.
Yeah, that you're not passing your driving test with one of those.
Upset, as now Closer going aggressive onto Dundun. Sylvie finds a stun, but not too much really going to happen afterwards. Chains of Corruption, and Peter has been still for a really long time. This Drake should have been earned here by Fear X, and Peter dives in. What? What the heck? How do you see he's got Guardian? There's no unsealed spellbook in this game. Okay, Peter, I'll take your POG, and we'll move on. That was gorgeous. They still
did in with Zeeks. Was it the Zeeks that actually got it? That's what we're wondering. Okay, close up. Gotta focus in.
So he gets hit by CC, and then CC, and then Chains of Corruption, and then he's out, and then
I think it's like here, he like E's to Call Me, ult.
Yeah.
It's just Zeeks. I'm pretty sure Zeke's, because it went to 28 health and Zeke's does 50 damage. I think Zeke's just got it.
He zeked it.
Yeah.
And then Dundun gets in, gets a bit of CC. Yeah, he's like, I don't know, man.
On 3 at this point, and as a Hextech Soul, I would start to really be concerned about Nongshim's chances, especially with that. Oh no.
I'm starting to be concerned about Willa here, who's going to have to flash, tries to get himself out of the way. Dundun's in there, finds the fate sealed, and that might just be that. But Closer's able to lock down a kill, and that is so much damage. Willa survived for almost too long there as Sylvie going aggressive. Closer down very low and clear. The damage is just too much. He'll pick up a double, and Sylvie will slink away, tail between his legs. And we thought it was the Dundun show, and then Clear just turns up with 1 billion damage. He's unchecked and destroys them.
This keeps happening where like a team forgets the Ifrit. It'll just mid you. So here, I mean, the Maokai unfortunately not a great target because he is so tanky. The Shockwave flashed away from, and Dundun has to commit so much damage. The Shuffle actually comes in as well for the Azir. Dundun ends up going down, I believe, to like the Grom. The Grom. Right.
He aggroed the Grump. Oh my. Okay, I didn't even focus on the rest of the team fight. It was beautifully played by Clear, but
that was the most Dundun way to
broke down as Willa clearing out vision. Peter will be able to use his body to find some extra, but Nature's Grasp to come down. Willa looking for a turn if they can find it. Closer goes golden though. Dundun uses his ult as well. That is the most high value Zhonya's I have ever seen in my life. That was just absurd. And Clear gets on over. Umbral dash as well, eats an ult. Nongshim threw everything in the
dragon.
No, but what about in the Nexus turrets though?
Okay, this seems like a gamble. But they are ahead. They are in a good spot, so it should pay off.
Ooh, they waited for the Chains of Corruption cooldown. They'll get a cleanse for it. And Nature's Grasp going to be used. The first Nexus turret is going low as Peter dives in and gets on top of a Maokai. Oh no! Emperor's Divide swipes them all up. And now Jiwoo and Dundun are the last men standing. And they may not be standing for much longer. Yeah, the dragon doesn't matter if you just kill the Nexus. As Closer is almost just murdered by Execute. Oh, the redemption for Azir.